So, welcome back, friends. Shares of Whirlpool are declining sharply on their statement that Iran war is causing recession-level industry decline. McDonald's CEO Chris Kempinski is saying that the spending is beginning to get impacted because of the war and that he can clearly see it. Maersk CEO Vincent Clerk says that the Iran war is costing the company $500 million a month. So all these three all came out today, their views on the Iran war and the impact on their products. Whirlpool is showing that the big ticket items are now getting postponed by the consumer on account of the war, the falling consumer confidence, and the like. Having said that, yet the capital markets, the stock markets in the United States are in good position right now because of increased enthusiasm towards AI related stocks, and that is boosting the stock market higher. Till that continues, it is of course heavily focused on the parabolic rise in the AI shares. Till this continue, I think the pain of the Iran war will get covered up, shielded. Now, what can change and in what direction? As far as oil prices are concerned, once they start coming down, then you can start seeing the impact, consumers feeling a little better as they'll be spending less at the gas station. All that will help. But the fact that the Iran war has triggered certain supply shortages, America has been the least impacted because of the war in West Asia, but it will also start getting impacted because the very blockade that has taken in the Strait of Hormuz means that people have not received the crude oil to the extent, the amount they desired for their production. And don't forget, much of the production that takes place in the world happens in Asia, and from Asia it goes to the United States. So a lot of exhaustion of old inventory would have been taking place in the US. That's why they have not yet felt the pain. Once all this changes and supply shortages start arising, then you will have a situation where the pain will start getting felt even more. Now, all this, you will say that when would this happen? This would happen with a lag. The reason this would happen with a lag is that right now, the old inventory is getting shattered. The old inventory is getting exhausted. That's why you would find that people are getting the same product at the same price that they were even a couple of months back because they had stocked and kept this inventory. Once this gets exhausted and new supplies are not forthcoming from Asia, or they're coming at a higher price, you will see the American consumer getting impacted. Anyway, I believe that, so the joker in the pack is how long will this war last, when it will finally end. Neither President Trump nor Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, nor Pete Hegseth, and especially the president being the commanding authority, commander-in-chief, not interested to continue this war further. So sooner rather than later, the war bugle will stop, and we hope that there will be a lot of peace, which can lead to a reversal of the situation. At least the immediate impact, short term, will be that oil prices will come down. Consumers will feel less pinch at the gas station. All this will augur well. However, a few months down the road, when the new inventory starts coming in from Asia into America, you will find that they are coming at higher prices, and even they are coming at the quantum which is much less than what the American consumer would desire. This will be the point of time where I believe that the whole game will start changing. Consumers will start feeling the pinch. Smaller amount of supply at higher prices will start causing inflation at that point of time. So although the war will stop, the war may come to an end. That's what my hypothesis is. Yet there will be a point of time when all this to reverse itself. For example, there has been a substantial damage to much of the oil infrastructure facilities in the Emirates, UAE, Qatar, Oman. They are feeling the pinch. So there, to be able to resurrect that, to be able to come back to normal may take several years. And how will they be if they are not able to supply at the rate they were before? And don't forget the Emirates and the Gulf countries, the GCC, they are closest to Asia. So if the same crude oil were to come from the United States, then it would travel a longer distance. And it's a sweet crude which comes from the United States, and what comes out of the GCC is more the sour crude. So all this will take substantial amount of time to finally reach Asia, and from Asia to be able to use that and convert into products, all things to come back to normal. The oil price shock has been so substantial that lot of the production, even in Asian countries, in many products, in many sectors, has dwindled quite substantially. For the entire gas production facilities to come back to normal in the Gulf, in the Emirates itself will take a substantial period of time. This period of time will lead to lower supplies, oil supplies, the crude oil supplies, fertilizer supplies to various Asian countries, various chemicals. They go from the Gulf. They are serves as a feedstock for many of the companies in operating in Asia, in India, in China, in many parts of the world. China would have escaped because they had a huge inventory of crude oil, but the other countries did not have as much. For example, even India had a deficit of LPG supplies, and the government was struggling in that process. So all this will lead to an underproduction in the Asian economies, and the supplies will not only come later, but they will come at much higher prices. They will start reflecting on the American stores in the shelves over next few months, after the current and the old inventory has completely exhausted. Once it starts appearing at the shelves a little later, there could be what we call a ticker shock. They will be coming at ticker prices which are much higher than what the American consumers normally used to. So to say that the American consumer is going to be completely insulated from the West Asia war, yes, it's not going to be easy. I believe that even President Trump did not want this war to go on for 2 months plus. And maybe he was trying to do some good for the Iranian people and just did not work the way it happened. Intentions were different. Yet, now whatever happened, at least the good thing is we must thank the president and his team for at least trying to bring this to now a rapid end so that this does not escalate any further. Many operations were carried out, last being the Operation Freedom. Now that also has been aborted because you found that Iran was trying to use other techniques. They were again using drones and attacking the United Arab and the Fujairah refinery, which is a very, very important one for United Arab Emirates. Because that was the last outlet where you could circumvent the Strait of Hormuz and take the oil out from the Emirates into other countries. But when the Fujairah refinery, I think that was attacked by Iran, there was a drone attack. That was probably, I would say, the last straw on the camel's back. And at this point of time, I think even the United States realized that if they carrying this any further, this entire Operation Freedom, like completely opening up the Strait of Hormuz by the Americans for everyone, circumventing the Iranian barricade would not really work, because they are retaliating towards their own brothers, their neighboring countries, and that strategy would also lead to further problems because there will be a more loss of production facility. Fujairah is a very important city. It's a port. It's also a major refinery. At that point of time, I believe they realized that let this war be over, and Marco Rubio and wisely he said that now it will be the diplomatic negotiations which will be center stage, and that they hope that Iran will come on the negotiating table, and they will even agree to the nuclear deal. Because if not, then they would be suffering a period of isolation. Iranian economy is already facing a lot of pain, and I hope that everybody comes to the negotiating table and a peace settlement, more than a one-page draft. Well, right now, one-page draft is also fine. A peace deal is signed very soon, and reply from Iran is expected. We thank the President Trump and his team for trying to bring this now war to a quick end. I believe that whatever has happened, especially the attack, the drone attack by Iran on its neighboring countries, has tried to create problems for its own neighbors. And some of the production facilities have been impacted. Energy infrastructure has been impacted. All this crude oil gets supplied to the Asian countries. That is also now deeply in jeopardy. The result of all this, you find that oil is much difficult to or has taken longer to reach the Asian countries, and because of which the production and has got impacted, and the prices will show up in ticker prices on a few months from now. But trying to quickly bring this to an end will make sure that whatever rise comes, the inflation may be transitory in nature. Okay. And so to get to know more for the US markets, you can join our Prime Plus Telegram group by WhatsApping us on 732-732-2720. For the Indian markets, you can join Premium Plus, gives you 10 to 12 days predictions in advance and good multi-baggers. The number to get in touch, you may WhatsApp us, 982-086-1044. Once again, happy investing. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.